Hello everyone and welcome. We'll give everyone a minute to get in here and give me a second to check my sound. I can't talk too loud because it is 7 a.m. here, and then I think the other person in the next room is actually right outside that door. I'm in a different room right now, but I'll explain all of that. So for the first minute or so, why don't you type in where you're coming from tonight? I would love to hear and read out where you guys are watching from today. Good morning. Wow, so many of you guys in here. Thank you. It's a blessing to walk in here and see people actually waiting for this stream, which is pretty cool. Some familiar names: Chris, Coach Rob, Fangirl, Andrew, Gord, Tyler. Awesome. So we got Coach Rob from Esquimalt. We have a Fangirl from Northern BC. Andrew's calling. I'm not sure if he's saying he's from Morning Sunshine or he's calling me Sunshine. Ladner. Awesome. Lucas, of course, the home of the Vancouver Canucks. Fort St. John for Sick. Nanaimo. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, real talk. Just so I know, truly, if I talk this quietly, if I talk this calmly, I know it's not the most entertaining, but if I talk this quietly, can you guys hear me? That is the main thing. Can you guys hear me if I talk this quietly? I'll just wait to hear from you in the chat and then we'll get going. Again, the timing's tricky because it is 7 a.m. and who knows, I don't want to get a complaint. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah, I have this lapel kind of close to my my voice or my throat. Okay, let's go. Hi everyone, I am Canuck Clay and this is my Canucks take, well, one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary live for you, Sunday night, June the 19th. For me, Monday morning, June the 20th. Happy Father's Day. If you are a father in the chat, why don't you put something in the chat to denote that you're a father? Because I don't want to make any presumptions. I know many of you aren't fathers yet, but I know that I'm sure a few of you are as well. I know Gord's in here. I know he's a dad. But if you're a dad, type it in the chat too so I can greet you and we can greet each other. A happy Father's Day, and we'll go from there. So let me give my shout outs. Let me do, as you see, 10:05, I'll do a 10-minute update on the trip so far. We'll get into your Canucks and NHL talk. We'll get into Ask Me Anything. Then we will wrap up. Again, only the one screen set up, so I can't go Ordle, Gordle, Wordle. You guys can play those on your own. And then 10:45, we will wrap up so I can run down for breakfast. Tyler's gonna be a dad in the future. Awesome. JDS Sports, I'm a dad. Awesome. Happy Father's Day. Sig's gonna be a father soon. That's awesome. Shane says, father to dogs. Thor, that counts. That's awesome. GL Rebirth, son lover. Hey, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Proud father of two. Wonderful, wonderful. 2 kids for Gord. That's awesome. So I'm glad you're here, Taylor. Glad you're here. Okay, I better get going so I don't get too far behind. First off, thank you to the moderators in advance. Generally, it's been pretty common here, but you guys know, sexist, racist, homophobic, ableist, spam in another language, swearing. Delete it, time the person out. Don't necessarily ban them. We want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but let's keep it clean, let's keep it positive. Thank you to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now using that link in the screen, performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay. And also thank you to Jason Lim and his team from Van City Experts Real Estate Group. Contact them for all of your real estate needs. To Gassy Jack Art and to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame members Jen 95, simalexander, Chris Seifried, Andrew Broomfield, Shannon Hollingworth, Hsmfangirl Gaming, Smoovegroove, and Carol Bovenlander. Thanks for all of your support. If you want, and thanks to franchise and all-star members. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or my videos or in the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. You guys know that starting July 1, new pricing for at least the no more all-star. Price of franchise stays the same, but price of Hall of Fame goes up. So I will start to maneuver all of those changes so it doesn't catch you off guard on July the 1st. Also, if you want to donate, you're welcome to donate at any time during the stream. I appreciate it. Don't have to, but if you have the means, by all means. And you can also leave thanks and super thanks and tips on my regular videos as well. Finally, no matter where you're watching from, whether you're in my part of the world in Sweden or in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston in Richmond, in the city of Vancouver, in the province of BC, in the country of Canada, or around the world like I am, thank you for being here. don't take you for granted, especially when you're, I guess it's not a time change for you, but you're still being loyal, still showing up to these chats. I appreciate you very much. And if you want to like this video, I wouldn't complain. Like the fact that we're together, like the fact that it's Father's Day, like the fact that it's my birthday coming up, like the fact that we can still chat even though I'm halfway around the world, like the fact that I'm hopeful that Jacob's bowling balls will finally show up today. That's one thing I'm going to talk about in my stream for sure. So for any of those reasons, most importantly, the fact that we are together, I encourage you to like this video. Okay, let's get going. Again, you have the schedule on top. I mean, right on the screen, tentative, before like someone like I won't name names, but before you guys get on my case for missing deadlines, that is tentative. Okay, so hold your questions for about 10 minutes. Although I'll answer yours real quick. See, I'm not coming back till June 30, so I'm away for a total of 2 weeks. Okay, in my very hushed tones, this is what's happening. So I won't recap what happened before Friday because I gave you all that lowdown. Basically, wrong hotel, delayed flights, but the biggest missing team members. But the biggest thing was Jacob's bowling balls were missing. So here's the update on the bowling balls. We flew out of Toronto on Thursday night. They fly every 2 nights out of Toronto. So we know that the bowling balls made it on the flight, thank God, from Toronto to Copenhagen to Denmark. So exact same flight that I flew on 2 days ago, they did it last night. So Sunday afternoon, the balls arrived in Copenhagen. But now the bowling balls got to make their way the 1-hour trek to Sweden and then find us at the hotel. So that's what we're hopeful for right now. We're hopeful that the balls will find their way to us today because the tournament technically doesn't start until tomorrow, but it's the official practice day today, and Jacob's squad is at 6 o'clock. So if, oh yeah, thank you, Tyler, for reminding me. I'm on the road to 10K, so make sure you're subscribed if you haven't subscribed already. It also allows you to leave a comment in the chat. Okay, back to what I was saying. So Jacob practices officially tonight at 6 o'clock. So we need his balls to arrive in the next 11 hours, basically. That is the hope. That is the prayer. I'm kind of concerned because they haven't contacted me or Jacob yet to say that they're here. I only know they're here because I know the people that work for Air Canada and they've checked for me. They haven't physically seen them, but they've checked online. So we'll just see what happens. I know I'm going to really focus on that for today because today, like I said, is an official practice day. The girls practice in the afternoon, the guys practice this evening. Then technically Jacob does not bowl until Wednesday. So if for whatever reason the balls don't get here by 6 o'clock, but they get here tonight or tomorrow, it's not the end of the world, but it's not ideal. Obviously, we want him practicing. So yesterday, Sunday here, was the unofficial practice day. So the bowlers went, and of course Jacob didn't have his bowling ball, so he just picked one off the rack. It wasn't a pure house ball like the ones that are chipped and don't even roll properly end over end. He found like a decent bowling ball that was kind of left on the rack, and he used it to practice, at least get used to the lanes, get used to the footwork, all the conditions, and he was fine. He was striking like usual. I'm really excited for this guys team. I know the competition is going to be good. I know that, but I'm really excited for this guys team. I think our girls team's going to be really strong too. I don't know them as well, so I've only witnessed a bit of them bowling yesterday. They're good. They're really good as well, and there are fewer women's teams. So I think both the men's and the women's teams are hopefully have a good chance to do some damage here. So Jacob unofficially practiced yesterday, not using his ball. Tonight's the official practice. We're hoping his ball shows up for that. And then the girls start their singles competition tomorrow. The guys start their singles competition on Wednesday, on my birthday, nonetheless. So that's the bowling ball situation. Food's been good. I've eaten sushi twice. We went to a Turkish restaurant last night. I haven't experienced true Swedish cuisine yet. I don't even know what true Swedish cuisine is. And there's a lot of seafood because Helsingborg is a port town. If you've seen my Instagram, Fun Faithful Fam, or if you've seen my Facebook or my Twitter, I've been posting pictures, and it's a beautiful, beautiful city for sure. Okay, a couple more minutes and then we'll get in, a few more minutes and we'll get into your questions. Father's Day. So obviously 2020 and 2021, I was with the family because of COVID. Then yesterday was Father's Day, and obviously I'm here with Jacob, and that's a wonderful way to spend Father's Day. Of course, I miss Sean, I miss Kayla, but I was looking for this trip for a long time, as you guys know. No, the Coke tastes the same. Actually, a little bit sweeter, actually. LA Women's Hoops. But then I thought to myself, well, when was the last time that I missed Father's Day? When was the last time that I missed Father's Day? And I thought for sure it must have been 10, 15 years ago when I was traveling for work. But no, you guys, maybe I'm not a good dad. It was only 3 years ago, 2019, the last Father's Day before COVID. Put in the chat, there's no prize, but type in the chat. And if you remember, if you know a bit about me, this might ring a bell. Why did I miss Father's Day in 2019? Type in the chat. I'll just give a quiet round of applause to the person that gets it right. It's actually a two-part question. There's two answers in there, but why did I miss Father's Day in 2019? And I wasn't with any of my 3 kids. Again, if you know it wasn't the Jake Milford, good guess, Lucas. Delayed flight, that's part of it, fangirl. I wasn't in Edmonton, Coach Rob. Some really good guesses already. Some really good guesses. Not bad, you guys, not bad. So I wasn't Jake Milford. I wasn't golfing. It was a delayed flight. It was a delayed flight where I was supposed to fly back home on Father's Day. But instead, my flight got delayed out of where I was leaving. No, I was not in Michigan. Edmund and Fangirl get it. I was in Toronto, and Peter nailed it. We were the Raptors championship parade. So 2019, Sunday morning, I was supposed to fly home from Dallas because I was doing some youth training there. The flight got delayed out of Dallas because of storms. So I wouldn't have made my connection in Toronto. So then I had to stay later in Dallas, spend the first part of Father's Day in Dallas. Then I was going to connect through Toronto. And then I looked at the calendar and I said, wait a sec. It's the Raptors championship parade on the Monday. So I called home, I made sure everyone was okay, made sure the kids were okay with me missing Father's Day. Spoiler alert, they didn't care. I missed Jake and Sean's award ceremony the next day, but they were fine with it. They knew it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I flew into Toronto Sunday night on Father's Day. I had a friend who I met in ministry pick me up at like midnight. We went out to eat Korean food, got to her house at 2. She still lived with her parents. She put me up, let me sleep. Then I woke up at 6 in the morning. And then, of course, I stumbled out of the room and her mom was there. Now, I like to think that my friend Celestia told her mom that I was going to stay there. Otherwise, it's pretty creepy to have, at the time, a 44-year-old Asian man just wander out of one of your bedrooms. So I just walked out and I said, hello, Mrs. Hu, I am Celestia's friend. Thanks for letting me stay. So it could have been scary, but thankfully, I guess Celestia cleared it with her parents. Thank goodness, she's smart. And then we made our way to the Raptors championship parade. So yes, that's where I was 3 years ago in 2019 for Father's Day. So yesterday, it was a great day. Spending it with Jacob, obviously. We went to Mass in the morning after his practice, so that was good. The Mass was all in Swedish, but because in the Catholic faith, you can at least understand what's happening because the same thing happens at every service. So we were able to go to Mass and spend the most of the day together, which was really cool. And of course, I talked to Jake and Kayla and Gail a few times throughout the day. Okay, that's basically where we're at. So today, after this, I'm going to go down and eat breakfast, and then I'm going to try and track down Jacob's bowling balls. But Air Canada is not the most, Air Canada is not the most responsive. I don't know if you've been seeing on Twitter, they're getting a lot of heat right now. And then I also have a friend looking into it for us as well. So I will keep you in the loop. And then finally, my roommate is coming today. Remember I told you on Sunday, I told you Friday that 2 of the bowlers and their 2 parents were late. Well, they're flying in today finally. So although I love having the room to myself, it would help if I was splitting the cost of this room instead of paying for myself every night. Okay, then we take a drink of water and let's get to your questions now. And it doesn't, I said Canucks and hockey and asked me anything, but it really doesn't matter. We can meld them all. I'm just happy you guys are here. Edmund, can Jacob still bowl without his bowling balls? Edmund, worst case scenario, we would buy a bunch here. They could drill them here to fit his hand, and then he could use brand new bowling balls, and that wouldn't affect him. Actually, the balls are supposed to be meant to roll the same way. So in a worst case scenario, we could spend $1,500 and buy him 5 or 6 new bowling balls, and then fight with Air Canada about how to reimburse us. But I don't want to get to that point. But that is our last case scenario. Fangirl, hi Clay. Do you think the team will sign a veteran goalie to a PTO to compete with Martin, DiPietro, and Seeloffs? That would make sense. It would make sense for the Canucks to do it. And yeah, it's always nice to have competition. We know that it's Demko. We know that it's Martin has kind of been anointed as the backup, but I think you do got to bring in a veteran just in case you're not sold on Martin for whatever reason, or even DiPietro or Seeloffs on the farm. Shannon, what are you doing up at 7:14? Well, I'm talking to you guys. Marcus, should the Canucks trade for young demon like Zach Whitecloud? I don't mind Whitecloud, actually. Anyone that's cost controlled and young, I think they should look at for sure. The way I say bowling balls is funny. Anytime you talk about balls, it's kind of funny. Riley, no, Edmund, ideally no one wants to spend money. I agree. But if we want Jacob bowling this thing, then we got to do what we got to do. Lucas, Clay, are you optimistic about Kuzmenko coming to Vancouver? Oh, I guess I should talk about that, considering that's what I named the stream. Yeah, I am. You know, he was our last stop. As I mentioned in my vlog, he actually met with Alvin and Boudreau in the States before, as part of his trip before coming to Vancouver. So he met with the Canucks twice in a week. But you never know. We got burned on the Justin Schultz one, which actually turned out well for us. He didn't turn out that well in Edmonton, but I think I would just love for the Canucks to win, you know, one of these free agent sweepstakes. And if it's you sell him on opportunity, on who he can play with, on playing time, on the beautiful city, I'm optimistic. I really am. See, Clay, did you hear that the Canucks are targeting Sanford to add grit? What are your thoughts? Yeah, see, I've been talking about that a lot, actually, in my vlogs, this whole sandpaper grit. I didn't know they were targeting Sanford. I'd be fine with that. Chris, Clay, do you think Kyle Burrows will make the team this upcoming season? I don't. I think they're going to try and bring in someone else, and then I think Burrows and Hunt will be the guys kind of left off. So you can have, you know, OEL, Hughes, Myers, Ekman, I just said that. OEL, Hughes, Rathbone, Dermott, Myers, Pullman, Shen. There's already 7 right there. Although, you know, Tucker Pullman, we're not sure about his injuries. Coach Rob, how many bowling balls did you lose? 6, 2 bags, and there are 3 in each bag. Edmund, I think the Canucks will give Spencer Martin a backup shot. Well, they signed him to that contract with that intention. Tyler, I sat at the airport on an Air Canada plane for 10 hours delayed and missed a gold medal game. Tyler, I am so sorry to hear that. That stinks. Gord, for Father's Day, I received a great track hat. Oh, from Donnie and Dolly. Cool, Gord. Nice to see you, man. Edmund, what does your gut instinct tell you about Kuzmenko? My gut feeling is it's down to us in Edmonton. I just have a sense, and I have a gut feeling it's going to be us. I really do. LA Women's Hoops. In Canada, did they show the O.J. Simpson Broncos chase? They did indeed. That anniversary was on Friday. That's right. It was like Friday was the 17th, so it was 2 days after the Stanley Cup final, the Game 7, because that was on July 15th. Wait, was it the same year? I can't remember now. Fangirl, have your kids ever done any Lego sets? Now they kept them. Yes, all kids were, mostly Kayla was into Lego. We still have some. We keep some in the house because when we have our, you know, our church friends over or our nieces and nephews over, they like to break out the Lego. Sure bloody messy though. Shannon, I think from what I saw in the photo of Mickey sleeping by the bag of bowling balls, it looked like 6. Very good, Shannon. That is good investigation. Awesome. Carol with a $20 donation. Thank you, Carol. Says, here's some money for Jacob's bowling balls. Get yourself a nice glass of pop. We all think it'll pray for you to have a safe trip home and go Canada go. Let's give Carol some love in the chat. Appreciate you, Carol. That is very, 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 very generous of you. Thank you. GL Rebirth, for sandpaper type players, isn't Tyler Mott one that they traded away? Yes, but they were going to lose him anyways because they weren't going to be able to pay him what he thought he was worth. But great point about the sandpaper. Canuck Carl, what kind of sightseeing have you done? Yeah, I've done 2 days of walking, over 15,000 steps. Stayed within the city so far, but there's a nice tower that I've taken pictures from. Definitely walked through the streets, kind of typical European town. Went up to the bowling alley, checked out the football stadium that I might go to a game. You might have heard Parker and me talking about that. And then I definitely walked along the sea, the port as well. So all within the city, but it's a very friendly town, very clean town, and very walkable. It's been great. Thank you for asking. Edmund, good point about Justin Schultz. Maybe I'm just bitter. Hey Brian, Marcus, do you think we target Klingberg? You know, I like him. A lot of people think he's not worth the money that he's been making. Do you think Rathbone finally gets his place? Yes, I think Rathbone makes the team out of camp. Fangirl, how often you FaceTime the family back home? 3 or 4 times a day. Sometimes very quick, and other times for extended period of time. Yeah, 3 or 4 times a day, Fangirl. Edmund, I think having Boudreau and perhaps have him experience with Ovechkin and bringing the best out of him is a major advantage. About Kuzmenko, yeah, and Podkolzin played with Kuzmenko twice for 2 years in Russia. Thank you, Brian. Happy Father's Day. I appreciate that. Shane, question: should Canucks seriously draft a woman player, and will they actually play in the NHL? I just don't see that happening in the NHL, quite frankly. Women's game is a different game. Past Carol's donation once again. Thank you, Carol. Jason, hello, Jason. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, thank you. What big trades or splashes are coming for the Canucks in the next few weeks, from your opinion? I think their priority is to re-sign Besser. Technically, they don't have to make a decision on Miller, and I think you're going to look at them adding a defenseman or a depth forward. That's my guess. We keep talking about Vancouver and Edmonton, but in my opinion, Kuzmenko may end up going to Florida. He did meet them in Florida, has a few Russian players. That's true. That's true. Better tax situation as well. Great point. Thanks for bringing that up. Now I'm sad. Edmund, did you watch any movies on your flight? If so, what did you watch? I watched Dear Evan Hansen again. That was for you, Fangirl. I started to watch Encanto, but I fell asleep. And I watched this movie called Kimmy. Kind of interesting. Just came out with Lenny Kravitz's daughter, and it's about a Siri knockoff, like kind of a voice-activated thing. It's kind of cool, actually. Peter, if Sean, Jacob, and Kayla were given different names, what would you and Gail name them instead? Eskimo, Geronimo, and Finding Nemo. No, we would, for Sean, maybe Isaiah, because that's his middle name. For Jacob, it was between Jacob, Nathan, Nathaniel. No, Jacob, Isaac, Nathaniel, and Noah were the choices for Jacob. And for Kayla, I don't know. Kayla's middle name is Marie, maybe Marie. Good question, Peter. Hi, Fernando. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. LA Women's Hoops. Canucks 94 Cup run ended 2 days before the Bronco chase. Oh, was it that long ago? I had it backwards. I was thinking of 2011. You're probably right. It was back in 94. That's crazy. But that makes way more sense. Brian, what percentage do you think that Andre will sign in Vancouver? I'm giving 50%. Derek Clay, who do you think will replace Hirsch as the next color commentator on Sportsnet? Maybe Joey Kenward? Oh, no, but this is color, not play-by-play. I don't know. It would be cool if they gave someone new a chance, like Clay Emo. I think they'd do a pretty good job, actually. But quite frankly, maybe they give it to a young upstart, like a Chris Faber or something. I don't know. I don't know any inside information. I'm just thinking, I wonder if they try someone new. I'm not sure what the ratings are like on the radio when all the games are on TV. Yeah, I saw that Hirsch is stepping down to focus on his mental health initiatives, which is great. As I've mentioned before, I like him a lot as a person. I think he's an okay color commentator. No, Seek, I'm in Heisenberg, not Malmo. Sidhu, what's the longest delay you had to wait for an airplane? For me, it's a 2-hour delay on Air France. Okay, well, if your longest delay was only 2 hours, then I think you've had it lucky. I've slept overnight in an airport waiting for a connection, for sure. Marcus, according to DNA test, I'm Swedish, but you've been to Sweden before I have. Oh, but you've been to Sweden before I have. Yes. I didn't know you're Swedish. That's cool, Marcus. Lucas, here's a funny discussion. I was chatting with Chris Gear, who followed me on Twitter. Turns out the AHL moved from Utica to Abbotsford appears may not have been a slam dunk. That would make sense. That's cool. That's cool. Fangirl, if Ham Hughes didn't get hurt and Rome didn't hit and hurt Horton, would the Canucks have won the Cup in 2011? Hard to say, Fangirl. I'd like to think so, for sure. Marcus, we should target Delzada. I knew that was coming. Peter, what's Jacob's mindset heading in the tournament? And it's unfortunate he didn't get his bowling balls yet. Yeah, it sucks. Jacob is pretty clutch. He gets better as tournaments go on, and he's excited. He knows that he can do some damage at this tournament. I know that he can, so he's got a really, really good attitude. He's been remarkably composed despite no bowling balls, but I think my job as a dad is to continue to calm him down. Give me a second, you guys. I just got to return a text. It has to do with the bowling balls. We believe so. From both the website and a friend who works for Air Canada. Okay. But yeah, Peter, Jacob has a really good mindset. He's mentally very strong. That's why he always does well in tournaments. Lucas, Ludica is super generous on the fees. If arena management rights never happened to Abby, this team would still be the Utica comments. That makes sense. That's cool info. Brandon, what position do you think the Canucks will target in the draft? I think there's a good D-man at 15. You got to take him. I really do. Yes, DeBoer is now in Dallas. Cassidy is now in Vegas. Tortorella is now in Philly. And Travis Green getting an interview in Florida. Now, Edmund Kayla has school until next Friday still. You guys chose middle names as well, indeed. Sean, Isaiah, Jacob, Isaac, Kayla, Marie. All religious names. Torts in Philly. I like Torts, I really do. I just think it's fascinating that he's going to be coaching in Philly against the Rangers, who he obviously spent a long time with. So that's kind of interesting. Peter, would you take the over or under on the Canucks making at least 3 trades this off season? If you include minor trades, I'm going to go over. Riley, is the takeoff when they're playing on the runway fast? Yes, it is. And then you get, some people praise, some people close their eyes. I'm not sure what I just did there, but yeah. Shannon, what is your prediction for tomorrow's game with the Avs in Tampa Bay? Tampa's back at home, so the crowd is going to be cheering for them. I don't think it'll throw the Avs off. It will help settle Tampa's nerves. Colorado looks so good. I actually think Colorado wins tomorrow, and I think Tampa wins game 4, and I think Colorado finishes off at home in game 5. Carol, when do you think we're going to know about the new players that they might get? Probably not for a while. It might not happen until after the draft and after the free agency, so not until mid to late July, perhaps. Edmund, did you read or listen to Michael Bublé saying about the change Alvino Boudreau fixing the locker room? No, I know he was on Donnie and Dolly, but I did not watch it yet. That's interesting, Edmund. Fangirl, best time to attend your first Canucks game in person? Is it preseason or regular season? Oh, it's got to be regular season. Preseason, you're not guaranteed to see a full lineup. Sick. All right, guys, got to head out now. Enjoy the rest of your trip, Clay, and have a good see you on Wednesday. Thank you, Sick. I appreciate that. Edmund, do you think Tampa has a chance to tie up the series? No, I think they'll win one of the next 2. Lucas, checking with Chris to see if Salt Lake City and Prescott Valley, Arizona reports are valid. All right. Clay, your dedication is amazing. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you dedicated to me. Fangirl, do you think Vegas will steal our Bruce There It Is chance after hiring? No, I don't think so. Vegas prides himself on being innovative and cutting edge, so I don't think they're going to copy the Bruce There It Is chance. They better not. Marcus, Tortorella coaching for a team with gritty is hilarious to me. Yeah, their first interaction is going to be funny. Maybe Flyer Social has some fun with it for sure. Sidhu, Travis Green in Florida, do they really want their team to not make the playoffs again? Yeah, I don't see him getting the job, but we'll see. Derek, Clay thoughts on Av and Torts? Clay thoughts on Avs and Torts have been following each other. Oh, sorry, AV and Torts have been following each other from Rangers to Canucks and now Philly. That's a good point. That is a good point. I never even thought about that. Very cool. I just think that's a neat coincidence. Peter, favorite and least favorite food you ate in Sweden so far? We went to a burger place. It was just plain, kind of overrated, probably paid too much. And the sushi has been good. It's not amazing, but it's fine. So I think the pasta I ate last night was really good. It was seafood damari or fruity damari. So it had squid, mussels, shrimp, and fish. It was very good. Keep us updated on the bowling ball saga. I will. as soon as I know anything, I will get the word out. Edmonton, fair to say Mike Gillis was way better at talking to the media compared to Benning? Oh, for sure. Gillis, he didn't have the best relationship with all media members, though, for sure. I saw Gillis address the media more often than Benning. Yeah, Benning is very, 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 very elusive. He hardly did anything. Lucas says, DeBoer to Dallas, my condolences to Gravity. That's funny. Fangirl, when do you think an NHL team will relocate, possibly Arizona? As long as Bettman's in charge, I don't think Arizona's going anywhere, quite frankly, Fangirl. People saying hi to each other, which is awesome. Brandon, we'll be cheering from Delta. Have a good day. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that. Yeah, I will definitely put on my community tab when Jacob's bowling and if there's any live streams happening. Yeah, Edmund Vigneault is my favorite Canucks coach of all time, for sure. I don't think Ryan Reeves is available. Is he a free agent? I don't think so. I'm going to look it up real quick. Ryan Reeves. He's got one more year on his contract at 1.75. So he's got one more year. And he's already 35 years old. I don't want him, although he's pretty darn scary. Edmund, I'm very that Bruins news really surprised me, for sure. Cassie is a good coach. Fangirl, how's the jet lag? It was fine. That kind of stuff doesn't affect me. I'm pretty adaptable. Although I didn't sleep well last night, like just a few hours ago, and I was excited to do this. I think though I'm a little bit stressed and now nervous about the bowling ball, so I did not sleep that well. Lucas, thank you for the $5 donation. Let's give some love to Lucas in the chat. My picks for future NHL relocation: New Jersey, Arizona, and Florida. Ah, Florida's a very good team, but we will see. Thank you, Lucas, for the donation once again. Edmund, Cassidy would have been a good pickup in Vancouver had we decided not to bring back Boudreau. Yeah, but then of course we didn't know that Cassidy was going to be available. Christopher, do you think the Canucks win the Stanley Cup in the future? Future by definition means any time from now to going forward. So yeah, they will. I just don't know how soon it's going to be, quite frankly. Shane, who is your favorite fighter that is from the 80s or 90s? Doesn't have to be the Canucks. I thought Gino and Brashear were pretty tough. Probert was very tough, but I didn't really, that part of the game didn't appeal to me that much, so I can't say I had a favorite fighter. But let's just say Gino, because I think he's won over the city for sure. Peter, would you run around the house with your shirt off if the Canucks win the cup? Oh yeah, not just my shirt's coming off. I'll just leave that for your imagination. Now, I agree. I probably just lost all my subscribers now. Fangirl, is Gail back from work after surgery? Yeah, she went back at the start of April. So her surgery was early February, Fangirl, and she went back in early April, so after 2 months, and now she started working out in early June after 4 months. You guys, forgive me. Let me just return one more message. Downs. Okay, thanks you guys. Lucas, I see a lot of the Thrashers in Florida. Team good, but no one is really passionate on South Beach. That's fair. That's fair. Brian, Shannon, hit the like button. Yeah, I agree with Shannon. There's 60 of you in here. There's 25 likes. Let's get that up to 30. That would be amazing. Fangirl, favorite thing to do during summer break for your kids? If you mean with them, I think traveling. We miss that. We go to Disneyland quite a bit. We're going to Hawaii in August. So I think traveling is fun. I love golfing with the boys, and I just love hanging out outside in our backyard with them, with Gail and the kids, and just hanging out, having people over. I think that's one thing we really like in the summer. Leon, do you miss Vancouver yet, or has Sweden been treating you well? Sweden has been great, except for no bowling balls. I keep saying it, but it's just a big cloud over our trip right now. I love being here with Jacob. I love the sightseeing. You know, it's gonna ramp up now that we're gonna be at the bowling alley every day starting today. But yeah, I miss my family for sure. But no, I don't miss Vancouver just yet. Just yet. Lucas, I can see the Panthers eventually move north to Quebec if ownership wants out. A slight realignment would be needed to make it work. Columbus for Tampa, boom, done. Yeah, anytime there is a relocation or a new franchise, they do have to look at the divisional alignment for sure. Fangirl, are you looking forward to seeing the regular season schedule when it comes out? Absolutely. It's an exciting day because you not only see when the theme nights are, when the good teams are coming through, but then it's an exercise in coordination because then Mike and I got to figure out which games we're going to, who's taking what games, and then what games we are going to sell. So it's always a fun time for sure when the schedule comes out. Ty, is getting rid of Miller a must? I think he's a key asset to Canucks right now, and if we can sign him for a reasonable amount, put us in the right direction. Safe travels. Thank you, Ty. That's the big debate. Some people think you got to trade him while his value is high and then reap a king's ransom, 3 or 4 assets. Others say, well, he's kind of like being our best player last year. Let's try and extend him. I'm kind of in the middle. I can go either way. I think when push comes to shove, I think if we can get a lot of assets for him, I think you have to move him if you don't think that you're going to be able to sign him. But that's a big if. Shannon, did I hear last time you had a McDonald's for a meal? Yes, my very first meal. Sweden has McDonald's, Sweden has Subway. Yep, for sure. Lucas, I can't wait for Autism Acceptance Night at Rogers Arena. Missing the seasons was a huge bummer. Yeah, that's true. Great point, Lucas. Vango, what team do you recommend people see face Vancouver their first time? I saw them face Toronto for the first time ever. I finally saw it, and that game was nuts, but it's expensive if you're going to pick up a ticket. Montreal is a good experience. Of course, Tampa, Colorado, any of the elite teams, I think is good. Matt, go, any food in Sweden that was good? Yeah, everything I've had so far. The sushi, the seafood pasta I've had. Our breakfast buffet is amazing here. Can't wait to go enjoy that in about 10 minutes. But yeah, everything's been good so far. But I'm glad I'm walking a lot, about an hour, 2 hours every day to keep this very svelte body as it is. No, it's not very svelte, that's for sure. Derek, when will your 24-hour live stream be next season? Yeah, I have to look at that. I'll look at the schedule. So a few things have to line up. The Canucks schedule, my work schedule, my church schedule. Once those 3 things line up, then I'll look at doing it for sure. Favorite breakfast food in Sweden? The bread here is very good. They have this cured salmon that I love, and then the bacon and eggs is good too. Coach Rob, the game you saw versus New Jersey was great. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't put them at the top of my list, but they do have some young players for sure. That's a good one. Brian, I saw Calgary and Canucks playing Rogers Arena when Linden and the Twins were still playing. That's a good game. Shannon, so you now share the price of your room with that person. Yeah, exactly. So I'll pay for the first 3 nights. It's kind of expensive, but that's fine. You know, that you have to pay for your privacy, obviously. But it'd be nice to have a roommate, actually. Although I gotta talk to about what's gonna happen tomorrow morning when I'm supposed 7 a.m. same time when I'm supposed to do Canucks After Dark, because he'll either be lying there listening to me, or maybe he'll go down for breakfast right away. Fangirl, when do you think Quinn will finally beat Jack Hughes? This season. Lucas, I know a friend of mine who lives here, considers Seattle as a second home, hoping to take him to a cracking game. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Vancouver, Seattle, there's still that novelty there for sure, even though the Canucks have owned the Kraken in their first season, but fine, nothing wrong with the Canucks winning for sure. All right, guys, we have 5 more minutes, so get your questions in. Things are going well. We're going at a good pace today as I'm checking messages. As to next steps. Hi T, is there an IKEA nearby? I have not seen it yet. And do they sell something that is not sold in Canada? I will try and find out. I know some of the girls on the team were talking about trying to get to an IKEA here. Fango, do you think Nadia will attend a Canucks game again next season? Depends on her schooling and her work. I doubt it, Fango. I think the opportunities that they had this past season were really good. They did a really good job with them, but I don't know if it extends to next season, quite frankly. I know she was supposed to come at the end of April, and that didn't work out because of her job. Shannon, maybe you can get him to join your channel and Canucks After Dark. Yeah, I could bring Martin on. We'll see. Riley, do you have a favorite thing in Sweden so far? I'd say the scenery has been really, really nice, for sure. Any interesting things you did over the past days? Matt, I just talked about that, the whole first part of the trip. I mean, the whole first part of the stream, so hopefully you're listening. Lucas, did you hear about Nadia and Red at the NHL Awards? No, tell me about that, Lucas. Are they going to be there? No, thank you. I have not met a Viking yet. Sidhu, seeing the Canucks play Dallas for the first time was fun. That may be because in my first game I got to see PD score 2, Canucks score 6, Shen fight, and Demko make 30 saves. Yeah, was that the one? Which game was that? Was that at the start of this year? I can't remember, but that's awesome. That's awesome. Brian, I watched the Canucks beat the Oilers here in Edmonton. Canucks won 5-2. Love it, love it. Canucks After Dark tomorrow. That's the plan, Matt. I'm going to text with Parker today, but we'd planned to do Canucks After Dark tomorrow for sure. Peter, have I been a good wingman to Jacob in Sweden? If you mean hanging out, accompanying him, yes. If you mean wingman in the traditional sense of when he's trying to pick up women, he's not doing that. He's focused on bowling. Oh, that's awesome, Lucas, that they will present at the NHL Awards. That's amazing. Cool. Hsmfangirl, if you were closer to the Sedins and Naz's hometown, would you go? Yes, that's a great question. And if I wasn't so far away, I would have loved to pop over there for sure, but it just doesn't make sense timing-wise. Matt, the weather here in Sweden is basically the exact same thing it was in Vancouver, Richmond when I left. Lows of 11 or 12, highs of 18 or 19. A bit of everything, sun, cloud, and rain. So very, very similar. I'm dressing the exact same way that I dressed in Vancouver. Didn't bring a heavy jacket, just brought a couple of hoodies, hoodies, one rain jacket, and a bunch of Canucks t-shirts. So the game I attended in Dallas was the 6-2 win in April. Nice, nice, nice. Peter, is that Jacob behind you? There is no one behind me. There's a chair here and a TV, but there's no one behind me. I'm the only one in the room. At least I thought it was. Yeah, Shannon, the Canucks in morning for me, for sure. Morning, without the U, like in the morning time. Lucas, did you hear the NHL is going back to the standard schedule pre-COVID? No, but that makes a lot of sense. Fangirl, weren't the Canucks in Sweden playing hockey in the Sedin's early years? I don't know. Someone would have to look that up for sure. For sure. Well, guys, last 2 or 3 minutes, I will answer your questions rapid fire as I try and track down Jacob's bowling balls today. That is my sole mission. My sole mission today. Dang. So frustrating, guys. So frustrating. I'm trying not to sound so upset or whatever, but I just feel horrible for Jacob. Hey, Bernd. Good morning, Sweden from Germany. Have you already signed a new Swedish super rookie? No, but I'm going to be on the lookout for sure. Maybe if bowling doesn't work out for some of these young studs, I'll sign someone. Although, when we were at the lanes yesterday for Jake's unofficial practice, there was a 4-man Swedish elite team, bowling team. They're pretty good. They're nice guys, actually. Van Gogh, favorite part about travel? Overall, it's not even the food, it's not the hotels, it's not the plane ride for sure. It's just seeing and experiencing a different part of the world for sure. Riley, what color are his bowling balls? He's got one yellow one, one multicolored one. Most of them are black or blue. They're mostly solid colors. LA Women's Hoops, the Canucks had 2 of the 3 players in the top Russian lines of the 80s and what they hoped in the 90s. Yes. Yeah, that 90s team with Messier and Mogilny and Bure did not work out so well. C-Edits. Hello, friend. Nice to see you. Joining is a mini study break. Hope things are going well so far in Sweden. C-Edits, everything has been fabulous except for the fact that we are still missing Jacob's bowling balls, but I'm holding out hope that they show up today. Yeah, Coach Rob, I'm going to put in the chat if you have time, Coach Rob, I know you like to surf YouTube, check out my boys' channel. They just passed 25,000 subscribers, so they're kicking my butt, but it's not a competition. But they have a lot of great videos on different types of bowling balls. Basically, different balls do different things. Some rotate more, some hook more, some do different things. Like, I'm not doing it justice. They have a lot of great videos, but basically, yes, all bowling balls are made different. Some are more powerful, and the biggest part of their channel, GR Pro Shop, is that they review new bowling balls, just like someone reviews food or reviews cars or movies. They review bowling balls and people love it. So yes, different bowling balls do different things. Even I know that in my bag, I only have 4, not 6. I used different bowling balls in different situations for sure. Great question. Riley, hopefully the balls come. Yes, indeed. Some love for sea edits. Brian, I would like to go to Sweden, but I don't like to fly in a plane. Okay, that's going to be tough then. Shannon, subscribe to them. That's great. Oh, many of you are subbed to them. That's awesome. Okay, friends, it is time for me to wrap up and time for me to, time for me to go downstairs. So thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. Moderators, thank you. Sponsors, thank you. Members, thank you. Thank you to Carol and Lucas for the generous donations. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you for sticking with me tonight. Hopefully everything will work out, and then you can see me tomorrow night with Parker on Canucks After Dark, and then on Wednesday, which is my birthday, the 22nd, I will stream Wednesday night your time, so Wednesday night at 10. And then it'll be my Thursday morning here. So that is my plan as of now. And then you can all greet me happy birthday on that stream, and I'll be all excited for that, even though I can't express my excitement completely with my hushed tones. So thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video, leave a donation or a super thanks on any of my videos. I appreciate that. And consider becoming a member or upgrading. Remember, change is coming at the end of this month. And then, of course, leave a comment here or on any of my videos. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I will update you as we hear more about the bowling ball. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And I got to tell you guys, just before I left the house, before I left Vancouver, my wife told me to put the toilet seat down. And then I figured out, I didn't know why I was carrying it around in the first place. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.